All right. Let's edit this just a little. Okay, there we go. Had to fix that up. And let me change the thumbnail so that people who are looking can find this. And save. Perfect. Yo, Mal, we got someone watching now. All right, let's give it just another minute for people to get on. Just another minute. Got an excellent connection right now. Okay, so for people who are on or others who are not aware, let me go ahead and tell y'all what this is all about. In my last live stream, a couple of folks were asking me, hey, do you want to talk about what you designed for your characters? Like, do you have a specific lore or background or bio for your characters? And I do. I actually do sit down and really think these characters out, especially when I started writing this Warhammer 40k meets For Honor crossover. I created my own Knight Legion, I created my own Viking clan, and I created my own daimyo and samurai servants under that daimyo. So I have my own lore, and so what I'll do is I'll talk to y'all about that if that's what y'all are interested in seeing. Some of y'all aren't, that's fine, but this is something I want to do real quick because next week I am going to be inordinately busy. I have a very busy work schedule next week, so I will not be able to release as quickly as I would like, and when I do release, I'll probably be so tired it probably won't be longer than maybe a quick update video. But in any case, really happy to have all of you on board who are willing to follow me on this, so I'll go ahead and get into a match, and we'll see how this goes forward. Let's see. To make it easier, I'll just do a breach map where I am playing with other people or playing by myself. Either way, we'll see what happens. And today we're going to be talking about the Vikings of Hrafenfell. So I am really excited to talk about Hrafenfell. This is let me pick a Viking real quick. Let's see. We'll start with the warlord, because the warlord that I created ties it all together. Okay. So let's start with my warlord. My warlord's name is Jarl Reynald, also known as Reynald the Wise. Okay, so when I was designing this character, the first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted a centerpiece for the Vikings. Like in Hrafenfell. Hrafenfell is a Viking territory that is very close to the Ashfeld border, and it's the centermost keep of it, the centermost town where the Jarl of Hrafenfell lives, is located near a ravine that acts as a natural defense, and so he takes advantage of that. Now, Jarl Reynald is a very wise man, and under his leadership, Hrafenfell felt a great deal of prosperity. He knows how to govern. He's very brave. He's wise. He started out as a raider, actually. He started out as a raider, but then worked his way up to a higher status position. He's a very brilliant leader. He had 2 daughters, who we'll talk about in a little bit. And as said in the trailer for Warlords, to become a warlord is earned. You have to earn the position. Well, he definitely earned it, and he is very proud of it. He's proud of what Hrafenfeld can do, and he holds a special resentment for the Knights because, like I said, he's right next door to the Ashfeld territory. So he's fought Knights far more than he has any of the other factions. He knows their tactics. He knows how they work. So whenever there's a fight between him and the Knights, he knows exactly where to hit and make it hurt. Oh shoot, I'm down. No! Stop it. Ow. Anyway, So there was actually a famous battle that I wanted to give him, like when he really got his start. A Zhang Jun named Wu Fei led a small attack party towards Hrafenfell in an attempt to take supplies and to get inside of an to get some food and other provisions for the long war. And so Jarl Reynald came up with an idea on how to fight them back and how to you know, protect his village while not lose any of his own soldiers. He sent out a small army of berserkers, like maybe 10 or 12 berserkers, to taunt him into a ravine. But Wu Fei, he's not falling for that, so he holds back a little bit. He's like, nah, this is a trap. I smell a trap. I ain't going anywhere near you. I'm going to let you come to me. So he kind of waits just outside of the canyon where the berserkers are waiting for him. But that's exactly what Reynald wants, because while they're out there waiting, they have no idea that Reynald is actually taking his main force above them onto a peak to drop an avalanche on their heads, wiping out Wu Fei's army and leaving him with absolutely no casualties. It was a brilliant move and earned him a lot of respect from not only his own forces, but also the knights and samurai as well. He's earned a legendary status. But believe it or not, the dude is it's probably because I'm live streaming, it kicked me. But because of his legendary status, the Jarl, he doesn't let it go to his head, you know? He doesn't want people to think, oh man, I'm so powerful, I'm so great, no one can beat me. The only thing that he really wants, and this is going to sound surprising based on who he is, but the only thing he really wants is peace for his 2 daughters. He has 2 beautiful daughters. He really cares about them. He wants them to be happy. He lost his wife in a battle, and he remarried, but his second wife died to a disease. He just wants his daughters to live happily. And don't get me wrong, he's a great warrior and he's not afraid of a fight, but he just wants his daughters to live happily. And when the orcs show up in the story, that kind of ruins that opportunity for him. So he's going to be the first of the Vikings, the Viking Jarls anyway, to say, you know what, maybe we need to put aside our differences for just a little while and deal with this immediate threat. Because he knows, yeah, this isn't going to be an easy fight. The orcs are not going to be easy to take down. And a lot of the other Jarls question him. They're like, wait, what the heck, man? You're actually going to entertain the idea of setting aside our feud with the knights and samurai? Like, what the heck, man? And the Jarl says, you know, it's what we got to do. You know, it's necessary. Even his own daughters are kind of like, really, Dad? Really? This is what you want to do? So that's Jarl Reynald. I really loved writing his character because if y'all remember Gunnar, I think that was his name, from the story mode, that was a really cool idea. I really loved how passionate he was about defending his keep and how upset he was when he lost everything. So I really wanted to do a character that reminded me of that, and that was Jarl Reynald. And I loved writing him. He's going to be cool. Once I get to writing him into the fan fiction, or if you want to call it that. I call it, personally, a crossover story, but a lot of people have been calling it fan fiction. Call it what you want. I call it an awesome story, and I've loved writing Reynald. He is so cool. Next, let's talk about... Let's talk about his oldest daughter. So for that, we're going to go in as the Valkyrie. Any questions, comments, or concerns so far? Have I lost anybody? Has anybody got questions about Reynald? Or are y'all pretty much good to go on that? I know that a couple of y'all joined a little bit later, but that's fine. Can I just say before I go into the 2 daughters, Ayela's the name of the daughter we're going to talk about. She's the Valkyrie. I love the Valkyrie look that I have going on right now. She's so cool looking. Alright. I love my Valkyrie. She looks so great. And I did model her off to the next character we're going to be talking about. Great segue. Ayela. Okay, so Ayela is the oldest daughter of Reynald, and she is the next to become Jarl by everyone's standards. You know, she takes well after her father. She's very wise. She's calculating. She's a good diplomat. She's often the one who deals with any foreign relations or any workings with other Jarls. She's smart, she's intelligent, but she also has a bit of a darkness to her, like a dark reason for why she does things. Her father was not happy that she became a Valkyrie, or at least he didn't like the reason for it. After her mother died, her mother was the one who died the disease. When her mother died the disease, she felt really bad because it meant that her mother couldn't go to Valhalla. So she took the oaths of a Valkyrie, because the Valkyrie, if you remember from the trailer, take an oath and swear it to the gods that they'll fight to earn passage into Valhalla for those who do not die on the battlefield. So she's fighting for her mother. She's fighting for her mother to earn passage into Valhalla. And the rest of her family too, but it started with her mother. And her father didn't want her taking this oath because he wanted her to move on. He's worried that by taking this oath, it shows that she can't move on from that loss and it's going to obstruct her view of the world. Now, here's the other funny thing about Ayela. She is strikingly beautiful. She is a very beautiful girl. And lots of Vikings, both in Hrafenfell and around Valkenheim, have wanted to marry her. And usually what she'll do is she'll be like, okay, you can marry me, but you gotta beat me in a duel. You gotta beat me in a one-on-one fight. And she is not to be messed with. She is a hard ass. She will fight you. And quite often she leaves the guys who come to marry her, like, walking away crying or with broken arms. Like, she don't mess around. Only one man has ever beaten her in a duel. Now to be fair, this man did not fight her to marry her. He fought her just because they were at war at the time, and he challenged her to a one-on-one duel. The problem is, with this one guy, he's a conqueror. He's not a Viking. So it's kind of like, how does that work? Does he get to marry her? He's a conqueror. And it's never come up. Like, it's never been brought up. But honestly, Ayela does think about that conqueror from time to time, and we'll talk about that conqueror when I get to the Knights of the Noble Legion. But we're not talking about the Noble Legion right now. We're talking about the Hrafenfell Vikings. Now, Ayela wants to follow in her father's footsteps. She's excited to be Jarl. She has plans to make Hrafenfell even better. But her father's also a little nervous. Her father's kind of like, you know, again, she can't let go of her mother's death. She's going to be fighting the rest of her life to earn passage for other people. That's the code of the Valkyrie. Can she lead while taking these oaths, you know? Can she honestly do that? And that's his concern. Unlike her sister, Ayela is patient. She knows to wait and think things out. When Yelda, her younger sister, makes a grave mistake and engages the Noble Legion without provocation, Yelda is the one who seeks out the Noble Legion to try to make peace. Orcs. And before you ask, I'll talk about Ayela's opinion on the orcs. She sees the orcs as demons from another realm. When she learns what they actually are later, it doesn't change her opinion on them one way or the other. To her, it's not about where these monsters come from. It's about whether or not they're a threat to the people of Hrafenfell, a threat to her, a threat to her sister, all of those things. She's a practical woman. Alright, any questions about Ayela, or Reynald, or anything else? I'll take questions once I kill these two. Oh, I'm dead. Dead. Alright. That gives me a chance to read these. Okay, so Lucky Rider asks, who is your favorite hero in For Honor? I've answered that before, but I'll answer it again. I really like Black Prior. He's one of my favorites out there. But I also have a special love for Warden. So, yeah, that would be my answer to that.
Gate destroyed. To the inner gate.
Okay, so if there are no questions about Ayela or Reynald, I'll move on to the second sister. Wait, can you do a short summary for the first guy? Oh, okay, real quick. Reynald is the Jarl of Hrafenfell. He is the father of both Ayela and Yelda. He is considered a wise man, a wise ruler, and is well beloved by his people as well as most of Valkenheim. His goal is to make peace, or at least a temporary peace, so that his daughters don't have to suffer the consequences of long-standing war, because in his opinion this war isn't worth fighting, you know. And then when the orcs show up, he's his only goal now is to kill the orcs so that peace could possibly be achieved. He's also one of the first Jarls in Valkenheim to suggest a truce between the factions temporarily to deal with the orcs. What do the knights think of the orcs? I will get to that in my next video, where in my next live stream anyway, where I talk about the Noble Legion and their presence in the story. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, I created an original legion, an original clan of Vikings, and an original daimyo and samurai clan. So I worked real hard to create some original characters for this story. How does her father feel about all these guys fighting for her hand? On the one hand, he thinks it's a little... On the one hand, he's a little proud of it, because it's like, ha, you know I got the hottest piece out here, right? You know, she's my daughter. Everyone should like her. But on the other hand, it's also, she's my daughter. You touch her, I kill you. It's kind of a double thing. But I love Ayela. I love writing her because she's a little cold, if you will. She's not the kind of character to carry on. Oh, I should explain that, shouldn't I? When I write characters for any story, I sometimes have conversations with them. I give them a life of their own so that they come to life on the page, you know? It comes to life for me as I write them out. Oh, crap. Give me a second. Lover's quarrel here. Come on. Ah, crap, I hate when they double team me. This was not supposed to be a three-way. Okay, anyway. Sorry about that. Okay, so, but yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, and when I write characters, I want them to take on a life of their own, so sometimes I just have interviews with them. I just sit down and I talk to them. I know that sounds really weird, but what I'll do is, like, I'll ask questions to the characters, and I just kind of think, how would this character answer? What would they say to this? Not only what would they say, how would they say it? Would they get sarcastic? Would they get angry? Would they get happy? Like, I give the characters their chance to come alive for me. That's what I think allows me to write characters so well. You know, just I give them a life. I give them the chance to. Oh no, you don't. I give them the chance to come alive. So when I write it, when I wrote down Ayela, when I was writing her character and I was working with her, she was one of these characters who just gave very short, very blunt answers, but that fit her character so well because she's got some darkness to her. She's got a lot of baggage going on. The death of her mother, taking oaths that can't be broken, fighting for other people, not herself, dealing with a lot of suitors who want her, the responsibilities of becoming the next Jarl. She's got a lot going on. Will I put chaos in my story? Maybe. I might use that tip for my... Yeah, it's... The biggest tip I would give in writing a character, genuinely, when you're writing a character, here's my ultimate tip. Remember that even though you created the characters, you need to let them come alive. Your characters need to have a life of their own, otherwise it's just going to feel like you're talking out of their mouths. Don't let your characters become your mouthpiece. You just give the characters a personality, you give them a place to reside, and then you let them go. You let them become who they need to be. And sometimes they'll surprise you. What I like to do is I like to think of it like they're my kids, and I'm letting them out into the yard to play. They can go anywhere they want in the yard, but they have a fence, and that fence is the plot of the story. They can't go outside the fence, you know? Like, let them do what they want to do. But as long as they're following the plot, it's fine. If they start breaking down that fence or trying to get out of the fence, I may need to rein them in. But otherwise, let the characters be themselves. That's the way I write characters. Is her father a warlord? Yes, we went into that. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, let's talk about her younger sister, Yelda. Yelda is nothing like her older sister. I'll tell you more about her once I deal with this Orochi. Oh, how did you... Get away from me. Eat it. Nope. Rejected. And catch. Dang it. Thought I'd execute. Let me go heal up. Anyway, Yelda is nothing like her older sister. Yelda always wanted attention. Yelda's this girl who... she feels like she can't add up. She's not as wise as her sister or her father. She's not as strong as all the other men around her. She just wants to be acknowledged. She knows she's not the first pick to be Jarl, and she doesn't care. It's like, she doesn't really want to be Jarl, but what she wants is to be accepted. She wants acknowledgement. She wants her father to be proud of her. So if she can't be as wise and calculated as her sister, she's going to be as strong as any other warrior. So she becomes a berserker. She takes up 2 hatchets, and she is the first one out into the battlefield. She's the first one to go out there and fight. She wants to prove that there is no one out there she won't fight. No duty she won't do to make her father proud. She'll fight and die for her father. And she has proven to be one heck of a warrior. That was told around Hrafenfell for a while, that with one swing of her axe, she was able to decapitate a raider. Yeah, a raider who had betrayed them and sold information to the knights. She decapitated him with one swing of her axe, which no one was able to be there to verify, but it gave her a legendary status. The problem with Yelda, though, is her desire to seek acknowledgement and acceptance has led her to make a lot of mistakes. Yeah. When the orcs first attacked Hrafenfell, she assumed it was knights. And what was her response? She immediately went to the Noble Legion and attacked them herself with a small band of other raiders. And she left no survivors. She didn't take prisoners. She just started butchering people en masse. Women, children, elderly, because she wanted payback. She wanted blood for blood, if you will. Oh, shoot. I'll tell you the rest in a second. I'm getting double teamed again. Stop it. Here, catch this, boys. Catch. Oh, no. No. Sorry about that. Get out of here. Alright, so Yelda attacks the Noble Legion, and it pisses off the Noble Legion, but it also pisses off her father, because what it did was it made the Noble Legion target Hrafenfell as an enemy, because the Noble Legion was just reeling from their own losses. The Noble Legion was just reeling from their losses at the hands of the orcs themselves. And not knowing who to blame for the attacks, they blamed the Vikings and are now attacking the Vikings. Jarl Reynald and Ayela have to fix this problem that Yelda started. So, as powerful and strong as she is, she makes a lot of mistakes because she's so headstrong, but she just wants acceptance. She doesn't want power, she doesn't want status. She just wants her father to be proud of her, and she wants to escape her sister's shadow. Alright, took care. Oh, no, not you. I'll talk about the next Viking in a second. I said, stop it, you! Lover's quarrel here, folks. Hold on. Got him. That's how we roll, son. Come on, guys. Let's clean this up. Let's clean this up. Run, you fool. Run. Got him. Alright, so some questions. What orcs are you putting in the story from 40k, or it's the 40k orcs, but they're feral. I imagine Khorne is going to have a lot of fun. Khorne loves the For Honor world, I'm sure. Alright, so That's Yelda, Ayela, and Reynald. That is the family of the Jarl. What are their clan colors? I will show that once I get out of here, because I have a specific color scheme.
You think you can win?
Ah, shoot, I hate when I'm... There we go, now I've got some backup. Alright, here, catch this. No, 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 no. Catch. Now that is what I call a hot tamale. I'm dead. Okay. In the fight with the Conqueror, did he try to kill her after the fight? No. He just wanted to prove that he could beat her. He was kind of a braggart. Catch! Oh no. Healing. I said I'm healing. Stop it. Dang it. I didn't heal. Ah, that sucks. Anyway. Okay, so. Let's talk about the raider next. The raider's name is Gunnar. Gunnar is not the son of Reynald, but he's practically the son. He was just a simple raider. He was just a simple Viking warrior at first. Oh, did he fall in love? Okay, so the question is, did the Conqueror fall in love with the Valkyrie after their fight? I will reveal that when I talk about the Conqueror in the Noble Legion. I'll reveal that later. Haha, I leave you wanting more. I love it. So, Gunnar. Gunnar was just a simple warrior in Hrafenfell at the time, but during a fight with the Iron Legion, as they were launching an invasion of Hrafenfell in a place called the Cairn's Teeth, which is a giant gorge, he lost his weapon. His weapon was knocked from him, so he tackles and wrestles a lawbringer to the ground, steals his poleaxe, and then uses it as his own weapon to butcher the knights around him. This effort gave him a very legendary status and earned him the respect of Jarl Reynald. Gunnar grew to really love Jarl Reynald as a father figure and swore fealty to him, as well as the willingness to draw blood in his name. You shouldn't have done that, Commander. Come on, Commander. Come on, Commander. It's what I thought. Yeah. It's what I like. I love it. Anyway, so this earned him a legendary status, and Reynald came to love him as a son, and Gunnar came to respect him as a father figure. Now, everyone thought that maybe Gunnar was going to be the next chosen Jarl, but Gunnar didn't want to be Jarl. He had his own family, his own life to live. He just came to really respect and love Reynald. He is a very vicious warrior, and he's also a little bit prejudiced against all the other factions. He was very much against the idea of forming an alliance with the other factions. He thought that they all just, let the orcs kill them. I could care less, We're going to defend our own home. Let them worry about their own. He really wasn't that interested. But despite his hatred of the other factions, he does respect them when they show valor in combat. For example, later on in the story, and we'll get to it much later, but I'll tell you about it now. Much later in the story, when the alliance is formed, there is an orc raid in a town in the mire called Omaku, and it's close to the river. So the Vikings from Hrafenfeld send a small garrison, a small group of raiders to fight back against the orcs and rescue the town. Gunnar is among them, and after they defeat the orcs, they're checking to see if there are any samurai survivors. And some of the Vikings are kind of thinking to themselves, maybe we could kill the samurai. They're all weak. They just were wiped out by the orcs. Let's just kill them all now. They're weak now. And Gunnar was even thinking about it, and then he sees an injured mother with a son, only maybe about 5 or 6 years old, holding a katana way too big for him, and holding it up weakly to try to hold off Gunnar. And Gunnar's looking at this kid, and he's kind of like, oh my gosh, this kid is actually trying to take us. And all the other Vikings are kind of laughing, but Gunnar just kind of notices this and goes, guys, we better pull out. Man, their defenses are too strong for us. We're no match for them. And so he has them all pull out just because he up to him like that, even though he knew he wasn't going to win. And he even makes the comment as they're leaving, he would have made a good raider if he wasn't born to a bunch of swamp people. Because that's the way he sees them. Again, game acknowledges game, you know? So that's how I see Gunnar. Okay, so let's answer some questions real quick. Wrenching the pole axe from a lawbringer's very own hands, impressive. Oh yeah, Gunnar's a beast. He's a huge raider. He could do it. Will the younger sister find some kind of peace? I'm not going to reveal that yet. That's a spoiler. I'm not revealing that. So who's the better fighter between the raider and the Valkyrie? Gunnar and Ayela have never fought each other. They don't want to fight each other because Gunnar has a wife, and if he fought Ayela, it would look like he was trying to win her hand. So if I had to say, it would probably be Gunnar. He's had more experience than Ayela, but don't let Ayela hear that. She'll get a little mad at that. Again, I know that that's weird for me to say that, but I give such life to my characters. It's almost like if I talk bad about them, they're going to hear me later. It's really weird, I know. All right, so before I go back in, the question was, what are the colors for this group? And I will show you. The color scheme for this group, where are they? I had it here. Here. This is their color scheme. The Dawn. So if y'all are wanting to make your own Vikings of Hrafenfell, use the Dawn color scheme. That is their color scheme for their clan. So now you know, the Dawn color scheme is what the Hrafenfell Vikings use. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and go into the next one. And now that we've talked about all those, it's time to talk about the next dude. We're going to talk about my Highlander. Let's get into the match. Why am I still going to the city? I want to go somewhere else. Come on, guys. Really? Alright, let's go into this with Highlander. And so, next questions. True, wouldn't want trouble in paradise. Oh, no, I wouldn't want any trouble there either. Alright, Highlander. Let's go. Okay, so, my Highlander's name is Aldon. Let's talk about Aldon. Okay, so it's a little weird how the Highlanders and the Vikings relationships work. But I'm going to make this clear. The Highlanders have a rough relationship with the Vikings. There's a grudge there. Probably because of years of prejudice and mistreatment. But Aldon is a Highlander king or lord, and he has a respect for Jarl Reynald. He has a respect for this guy, because Jarl Reynald opened up borders with them, opened up the chance for them to integrate and to trade. He opened up alliances with them. He respects Reynald. He may not like most Vikings, but he likes Reynald okay. So when the Jarl of Hrafenfell comes to him and says, hey man, we need your help, he says, my warriors are at your disposal. Now Aldon is known throughout Valkenheim as this bear of a man. He is a beast. He's also called Aldon the Great Bear. And the reason why is because there are times he won't even go into battle with his sword. He'll just leave his sword behind and say, let's go bare-handed, man. I'm going to break you down. And there's going to be a moment in the story. I'm so excited to get to this moment in the story. I'm actually really excited. Where the orcs show up in Valkenheim, but they need to buy time for reinforcements. So Aldon offers a challenge, a one-on-one, bare-handed combat between himself and the orc's strongest. Like, I want to see just how strong you are. He knows he will probably lose the fight, but he doesn't care. He's like, nuh-uh, I'm going to buy us the time, and I'm going to prove that it doesn't matter how big you think you are, I am just as tough and just as mean as you are. So, oh come on, where'd you come from, JJ? That ain't right. So yes, there is going to be a moment in the story where Aldon gets into a straight up bare knuckles fist wrestling match with an orc. If any of y'all had ever wanted to see a Highlander, a Scottish Highlander, get down and dirty with an orc, you're gonna see it in this story. And I can already tell you, it's gonna be great, lads! Gonna see him throw down, it's gonna be massive! That's not the voice I'm gonna use for Aldon when I get to him, but I can do a decent Scottish accent, if I try. If I try. Now, Aldon is, like I said, the lord of his territory. He's the lord of his area, but it's not a very well taken care of area, only because, like I said, there's a grudge there because the Vikings have kept the Highlanders out of their territory for so long, they don't have a lot of resources from which to pull. Get on the ground, Nobushi. Hi, Lawbringer, what are you doing? I better stay back a second. Alright. Oh, shoot. I'm dead. Dead. Oh, yeah. Aldon's going to be a total badass. I'm really excited to write his character into the story. I'm really excited to do his lines, because I'm going to voice his lines. I want to. He's one of those that I was kind of excited about from the beginning. I wanted to make him the main Viking character, but I chose not to. Are the For Honor gods part of the story? I'm going to try to keep them out of the story as much as possible. The Vikings will, of course, reference their deities. The knights will definitely reference God. The samurai may reference Kami, but there's not going to be a lot. I'm not going to have Jormungandr make an appearance. I'm not going to have Thor make an appearance. I'm not going to have any of that happen. That's just not going to happen, I'm afraid. On the ground, Lawbringer. Oh no. Oh no. Where'd you come from? Yes, and off with... What? Pikeman! You son of a gun. And yes, if you're wondering, yes, this is exactly what Aldon's going to look like. White hair and everything. Now, Aldon is going to have some Highlanders and warriors under his command, but they're not all going to carry claymores. I've decided that they're not all going to be claymore-carrying badasses. What time period in For Honor does your story take place? I'm not going to make that especially clear, but because there's going to be a warmonger involved, you can at least know that it's after the Order of Horkos War. Like this whole resistance thing. It's going to be sometime after that. And before you ask, will the new hero that comes out next season be involved? I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet, just because I don't know anything about them, and I have a feeling they're going to I don't think I'm going to hate the new hero, but I have a feeling they're going to make this story even more difficult to write, just by their lore. Sweetie, come here. Come here. Come on. Get down. Get down. All right. Come on. Come on. Off with your head. I love it. Come on, guys. Why aren't we attacking the ram? Why is no one attacking the bloody ram? We've got one job to do, and we're not doing it. I got him. Now go beat back their minions or something. Do something, guys. There we go. Get out of here, Nobushi. Actually, the funny thing is, when thinking about the Warmonger, I had to ask myself, how effective would her corruption ability be against the orcs? I need to decide how effective that's going to be. Ah, shoot, no. No. No! Well, that didn't work. Does Highlander have a special lady or yeah, well, Aldon is married. He does have a wife, and he has one baby. He has a baby. He can't even walk yet. It's a crawler, you know. And that's part of the reason why he goes off. Why he's willing to buy time for reinforcements, you know, because he's thinking about his baby. He's thinking about, if I just roll over and let the orcs have their way, what could happen to my baby? Aldon's a good family man. It's another reason why he respects Reynald. They're both family men. They both know what it's like to do what's necessary for their kids, which is going to come into play as a bit of drama later on for Aldon. After you're done with all the Vikings in the clan, can you tell their age? Do you mean the clan's age or the character's age? Because when I designed Hrafenfell, the clans of Hrafenfell are going to be a long-standing clan. No! Stop that, gladiator! Get away from me. You know what? Go heal your guy. I'm going to stay over here. Oh, no. Stop that. Oh, yes. Revenge. Revenge. Oh. Ah, dang it. Anyway. Let's see. War Mommy's going to be a badass, I can feel it. Yes, she is. Oh, guys, when I get to the Knights, and I talk about what the Noble Legion is going to be doing in this, dude, I can't wait to get to that. But I wanted to start with the Vikings because, you know, I don't talk about the Vikings all that much. I talk so much about Knights and Crusades. I felt like, yeah, let's give the Vikings some love. Okay, so anyway, that's basically Aldon. Next up is the Shaman. Oh, the character's ages? Aldon is about in his 40s. Reynald is in his late 50s. He's almost 60 years old. Ayela is in her late 20s. Yelda is a teenager. Let's see. And Gunnar, I believe I made him around his 30s. Oh, no. I got distracted. No! No! Anyway. Okay, so, the Shaman. She doesn't really have a name, but everyone just calls her Scratchy. The reason why? She doesn't talk. The Shaman here does not talk. She is an emissary of the woods, they call her. Basically what she does in the story is she helps the Hrafenfell warriors and their allies at times navigate through the forest of Valkenheim to find where the orcs are camping, where the orcs are setting up their territories, so that way they can plan surprise attacks. She knows the woods very well because she was born and raised in the woods. Basically, her backstory goes that she was born to a family that did not want her. They did not want to keep her, but they didn't want to just, you know, kill her because that would look bad in Hrafenfell. So instead what they do is they leave her out in the woods and hope that nature will take its course and eventually wolves will kill her. What they don't realize is that she actually learns to live and survive in the woods as a child and grows up there. She becomes a pretty savage warrior in her own right. There's not a lot to her character. She doesn't have a huge presence in the story. Get on your face, JJ. You gotta be kidding with that revenge. Oh my god. That would happen. You gosh, dang it. Alright, so, a couple of comments. I bet Lawbringers will also be powerful since they're already very much like Astartes, according to lore. Yep. Imagine orc faction in the actual gameplay. I know, right? Bruh, just imagine Shaman tackling an orc and biting into them. Actually, yes, there will be a moment where they're plotting their attack on the orcs. Scratchy just can't wait any longer, and so she just runs in and pounces on an orc. Yeah, that will happen. You will see a Shaman bite an orc. If that's something you ever wanted to see in your lifetime, know that it will happen. Why am I all my own against a law daddy? No. Dang it. Alright, so that's Shaman. If I recall, we still got to go through Jormungandr. I'm going to save Jormungandr, okay? I want to talk about Those two, because there are two Jormungandrs in the story that I want to talk about, but I want to save them for just a second so that I have time to answer some of y'all's questions, because I know that y'all probably have a few about the story or about the Vikings. Before y'all ask questions about the knights or the samurai or the Wulin in this story, I don't want to answer those just yet, only because I want to save some stuff to talk about in their videos. Gotcha! So, if you have any questions about the story or the Vikings in the story, those things I will gladly answer real quick while I get through this. Alright, got rid of JJ. Officer. You're not going to be part of the story. Yeah, they are. There are going to be two Jormungandrs in the story. At least two named Jormungandrs. The Snake Jormungandr will not be in the story, but the Jormungandr warriors will be. I'm always up against two at a time. Nice try, buddy. Oh no! No! Not cool, man. Not cool. Will a faction go extinct? In the story? No. No, there will not be a total extinction of the Wulin, Knight, Samurai, or Vikings. Just because that might break continuity with the game. So can you tell us one way the Vikings are going to tackle the Orc forces? Okay, yes, that I will talk about. The Vikings do not have the resources to spare in this war effort. Their icy lands just don't have enough of it. So they're mostly going to be brute force. They're going to dispatch basic naval help. They're going to launch attacks from the rivers. They're going to help stop they're going to stop small-time orc sieges in towns like Homaku, which I talked about earlier. Hold on, let's stop this from happening. Dang it, I was a little too late. And off with the head. Why are you doing this to me, JJ? What you got against me? It's massive disrespect. The Vikings are basically going to be, not warriors for hire, but they're just going to be the brute force that goes out and kind of slows down the orcs' advancement. Because in history, Vikings were shock troopers. They would rush an objective, storm it, destroy everything in sight, wipe it out, and then retreat. And that's what they're basically going to be doing. They're guerrilla forces. They're going to attack from behind. They're going to pick a target and just wipe it out quickly. They're not going to be a long-standing war effort. In the final battle, they're also going to be the vanguard that rushes in first. They're going to be the first ones to take the field because they're just so good at hitting fast and hitting hard. I'm going to try to be as historically fair to these warriors as I can be. Come on, refill. Alright. Also, do they have pets? Animals will be mentioned. How will every faction contribute without spoiling much? I don't want to go too much into that because it will spoil some things. It will spoil some of the relationships that go on. Like, I could tell you what the Wulin will contribute, but if I do that, it's going to spoil some of the drama later. Because think about this for a second, guys. One of the big things that's going to happen in the story is the factions are going to have to work together to fight the orcs. They can't fight them all individually, so they're going to have to work together. But these warriors have been at each other's throats for years. They have hated each other for years and generations. Just forming a sudden alliance is not going to be easy for them. They're not going to want to do it right off the cuff. So how do you get these people who have never worked together to suddenly just decide to? That drama is part of what's going to make this story work. That's what I'm really looking forward to working on. Making this drama work between them. Ah, gosh. I hate fighting 3 at a time. I hate it when I'm fighting bots. I hate it when I'm fighting other people. Well, I'm dead. Yep. Okay. So that drama is the reason I don't want to spoil much right now, because there's a lot that goes into this. For one thing, think about the Wulin for a second. The Wulin have no strong standing territory. They don't have a portion of the map that they call their own. They are foreigners to this map. So, how does it fit in? What will they do when they realize that the land is plagued by these monsters? How will they deal with it? How will they respond? Because of that, I don't want to go... Because I have to deal with that question, I don't want to go into what the Wulin will do or why, because that's going to give away a lot. Ah, shoot, another 3-way. Come on. Once I deal with these guys, I'll talk about Jormungandr. Dang it. Alright, let's talk Jormungandr. There are 2 Jormungandrs. One is Tanya. I know that that's not a super cool Icelandic sounding name, but that's her name. It's Tanya. Tanya is a female Jormungandr who, even though she's part of the Jormungandr group on Store Isle, where the other Jormungandrs congregate, she's not much of a believer. She joins them because she's an outcast. Many of the Jormungandrs who are there stay there because they have skin diseases or some kind of ailment that separates them from the rest of Viking society. So she doesn't feel like she belongs. Only among them does she feel like she belongs, but she's not really much of a believer herself. When the orcs arrive, the Jormungandr cult has to decide what they're going to do. Are they going to help? You know, are they going to help fight this threat? Are they going to aid it? Or are they just going to let it happen as is? She's one of the folks who's going to say, no, we need to help. It's our duty to help. Even if we are just a cult that stays away from the rest of the world, we still have a duty to the people of this world. Where's my team? Why am I always alone in these fights? So Tanya is going to argue that it's important that they join up. Tanya doesn't have a huge backstory like Reynald or Ayela or Yelda. Tanya mostly just wants to find her place in the world. Who is she? Where does she belong? Is she a Viking? Well, how can that be? She was kicked out of Viking society and forced to live on her own. Is she a knight or a samurai or a Wulin? No, because she has no love for them either, and they've attacked her home too. Who is she? Is she a cult of the Jormungandr? Does she believe in the god Jormungandr? No, she doesn't really pray to him either. Why would you pray to a giant snake, in her opinion? You're like, why would you do that? So she really just wants to know who she is, and through the war, she's going to discover who she is through a specific male colleague that she meets along the way. A certain male with an incredibilis punch. That's all I'll say about that. Law Daddy, you're pissing me off. How did you do that? Come on, guys. You just got to kill 3 more of them. No. Dang it. How do magic and feats and revenge are going to fit into the story? Because I can't imagine the Highlander getting revenge and start breaking stuff. I'm not going to involve revenge much in this, and maybe some feats will be included, but I'm not going to add a lot of magic. That's just not something I intend to do. I'm not going to add a lot of magic to the story. The male Jormungandr is going to be kind of an anti-hero, sort of. His name is Hagar. I know that that's not super creative if you've ever read the Hagar the Horrible comics, but his name is Hagar. And he genuinely believes that the orcs are emissaries of Ragnarok. He thinks that their arrival is a message from the Aesir, from the gods. The time has come. It's Ragnarok. We must not only fight the orcs, but the orcs are messengers. They mean it's time to start kicking butt and taking names. So when the Jormungandr are discussing should we aid the other factions, he's going to say, heck no. It's a free-for-all, guys. Let's just start killing. It's what we've always done. It's what we're good at. Let's just start killing people. Got him. I hate you guys. Come on, kill this dude. Kill him. Dang it. Now he's gonna go revive his buddies. Commander, go stop him. You have the power. Okay, so you want to know the roles of the knights and samurai. The knights are going to be they're not the shock forces, they're going to engage the larger orc forces. Whenever there's going to be a massive orc force that rallies, and the knights are going to be the knights are going to engage them directly. They're going to be the ones slowing down the primary orc battlements. The Vikings' job is basically to make sure that the orcs don't take any strongholds anywhere else within Heathmoor. The samurai are in charge of maintaining supply lines. They're also in charge of getting technological advantage. And the Wulin, I can't say anything about the Wulin right now. Again, there's a lot of drama that goes into this. I don't want to give anything away. So, what I've done here, guys, is I wanted to give y'all a little sneak peek into the Vikings that I've created, what their stories are. Wanted y'all to get an idea of what Hrafenfell is like, how it fits into the main story. And I hope that y'all enjoyed. I hope that y'all found this very entertaining, very interesting. Before I go, guys, I want to let y'all know a few things that are going on. Let me get out of this, and then I'll let y'all in on it. Okay, so next week, well, starting tomorrow, but into next week, I'm going to be very, very busy. Work has me very much scheduled because a couple of the guys at work got sick with COVID, so I'm covering for them. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff there. Because of that, video release is going to be a little bit slower, plus working on my own book. So because I'm writing my book as well in the spare time, it's going to take a little bit longer to release stuff. I'm going to do the best I can. I might do a live stream here and there, maybe on Wednesday when I have a day off. But otherwise, just don't be surprised if things are a little slow. So I'll answer a few more questions, and then I'm going to hop off for the night. So, will commanders make an appearance? Yes, kinda. Don't want to give away too much. What type of skin condition does she have? It's never made clear, but in the lore somewhere it was mentioned that many Jormungandr have this weird scaly skin condition, which is why they believe that they are the disciples of Jormungandr. And I can't remember the name of the skin condition off the top of my head, but it was a condition that made the Vikings very nervous around them, so they were all banished to the island of Store, the Score stronghold. And while there, they formed their cult around Jormungandr. So she has a skin condition as well. It's not leprosy, it's more like a condition where her skin looks kind of scaled or rough in certain like in patches. Makes her look snake-like. Are ballistas a thing? Yes, they are a thing, as are trebuchets. They will be a thing. They will all be a thing. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think that just about wraps it up. We've been on for about an hour now. I hope that y'all enjoyed. If y'all have any other questions, leave them in the comments. And I hope that y'all have a great rest of your evening. And I will see y'all later in the next video. Take care. Bye.